If you're a dog trainer who's tired of being on the revenue roller coaster where one month you're busy, the next month you're slow, and you just can't seem to find a way to get a consistent flow of leads into your business, then this video is for you, because in this one, I'm gonna share with you how we help dog trainers get anywhere from 1 to 3 high quality leads per day and how you can apply the same system in your dog training business. So let's get into it. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and dive into some proof so you guys can see that we're actually delivering these kind of results for our dog training clients, and then I'll show you how we are able to do this. So I'm going to click around really quick just so you can see that this is a live Google Ads account. This isn't a screenshot, and we are currently looking at a 30-day timeline. So in the last 30 days, this client here has gotten around 33 conversions or 33 leads with roughly about 1 lead per day. And then we have this client here. They got 62 conversions in the last 30 days, roughly 2 conversions per day. And then we have another client here. They got around 57 conversions in the last 30 days, about 2 leads per day. We have another client here who got 48 conversions in the last 30 days, just under 2 leads per day, about 1.5. And then for our final example here, we have another client who got 42 conversions in the last 30 days, again, about 1.5 leads per day. So there's just a handful of our clients. I wanted to share that with you guys so you can actually see that we are delivering these kind of results for our clients. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. So in order for you to understand what you should do with Google Ads, you first need to understand what you should not do. In fact, that's probably even more important. So I wanted to list out the most common reasons why dog trainers fail with Google Ads, and then go ahead and show you guys a solution to what you should be doing instead if you want to get similar results like we do for our dog training clients. So here is a list of the most common reasons why dog trainers fail with Google Ads. And the first one we have is letting Google take the wheel. Then the second one we have is creating ads that don't resonate, using a generic website that doesn't convert, and lastly, making emotional changes. So let's go ahead and break these down. Letting Google take the wheel. Google will encourage and auto-apply recommendations to help improve your campaign's performance. You should ignore and disable them. 9 out of 10 times, these recommendations put more money into Google's pocket, but not yours. Sorry to interrupt your video. Give me 15 seconds. We'll get right back to it. If you didn't know already, I own a marketing agency. We work exclusively with dog trainers to help them get more clients, and we've generated millions of dollars in new revenue for dog trainers. So if you want to consider working with us, go ahead and click the link below and we'll see if we're a good fit. Let's get back to the video. So as you create your Google ad campaign, you will see that there is some pre-selected checkboxes and recommendations that Google will have for you. 9 out of 10 times, you should ignore those recommendations. Google Ads is not looking out for your ROI, they're looking out for their own. And so 9 out of 10 times, you should ignore these recommendations. Now, here is the most common recommendations you'll run into and what you should do instead. First one is poor keyword recommendations. Google will often recommend broad match keywords that generate a high volume of irrelevant clicks. For example, if you're a dog trainer, you don't want your ads to show up for people who are typing in dog daycare services near me or Caesar Milan training course, because these aren't relevant to what you're offering. But if you apply the broad match keywords that Google will suggest to you, chances are good you will get search terms like this, you will get clicks, and you will show up for search terms like this, and it will waste your ad spend. The next one is poor bidding strategy recommendations. Google will encourage you to use bidding strategies like maximize conversions too early on. Now, to be clear, this is the bidding strategy you want to use, but only when you have enough conversion data in your account. So when you start a Google ad campaign, if you have a brand new account and you've never ran ads before and you don't have a lot of conversion data in your account, you should not start with maximize conversions, because Google has no data to work from and you will get hardly any clicks at all, and you'll get very expensive overpriced clicks. So you should start off with something like manual cost per click or maximize clicks first. Get a bunch of conversion data in your account, roughly 30 to 50 conversions, and then go ahead and change it to maximize conversions once you have that data in your account. But Google is going to recommend you to start off with maximize conversions right out of the gate. Don't do that. The next one we have is auto-applying search partners and display network. Google will auto-apply search partners and display network when you create a new campaign. Opt out of them. This is bottom of the barrel inventory that will drive cheap clicks and unqualified leads. And I have a little screenshot of what that setting looks like. So when you're building out your campaign, you'll see something like this. And in fact, Google will actually pre-select these boxes for you. It's such a sneaky thing. Uncheck these boxes. I've never seen these deliver any sort of positive results for any of our clients. You should uncheck these boxes. You do not want to show up in the search network or the display network. It's bottom of the barrel inventory that Google would just love to get away, that Google would love to sell you, which is why they pre-select the check boxes. But if you're looking for quality leads, you do not want to have those checked. So uncheck the search and display network. The next one we have is auto applying people interested in the location. So Google will auto apply presence or interest rather than presence. Let me go ahead and zoom in into this screenshot so you understand a bit more of what I'm talking about. So as you're building out your campaign, just like this search and display network, you will also run into a checkbox that looks like this. And this is under the when you're setting your targeting, like the locations you want to target and everything, this is where you'll find this option. So again, it's a sneaky move, but Google pre-selects this box here, which it says presence or interest, people in, regularly in, or who've shown interest in your included locations, and they recommend it. Do not click this one. You should select this radio button down here at the bottom where it says people in or regularly in your included location. Basically, if you select this checkbox at the top, what will happen is if you live in Dallas, Texas, and someone in San Francisco is interested in taking a vacation to Dallas, Texas, and they're typing in best restaurants to eat in Dallas or hotels in Dallas, Google is going to see that person as someone who is interested in Dallas and be more likely to show your ads to that person who lives in San Francisco. If you own a dog training business in Dallas, you do not want residents in San Francisco seeing your ads. You want Dallas, Texas residents to see your ads, and that's it, people who live in your area. But if you don't select this bottom radio button here, that's what will happen. The next one we have is Performance Max and AI Search Campaign Recommendation. Google will suggest you use other campaign types like Performance Max and AI Search Max. These campaign types tend to attract low quality clicks, and 95% of you will never use this campaign type, nor will you ever need to. So only one of our clients uses AI Search Max, and he's an exception. Like, that's why I put 95%. The vast majority of you will never need Performance Max or AI Search Max. You will be able to be plenty profitable with a regular, good old-fashioned search campaign, and you won't need to use these campaign types. But Google will recommend them to you. Ignore it. Don't do it. So that's it for letting Google take the wheel. These are the most common recommendations you're going to run into. Make sure, if you have to, rewatch this video to make sure that you avoid these recommendations. And then we have creating ads that don't resonate. Most dog trainers create one generic ad that tries to appeal to everyone, and as a result, it resonates with no one. Instead, your ads should be structured around specific themes where your keywords, headlines, and descriptions all align with that same theme. So for example, if someone is typing board and train near me, we don't want a headline that says group classes, private lessons, or even dog training near me. You want a headline that is board and train related. We want relevant ads to surface for relevant search terms. So if someone is typing in board and train near me, you want a board and train related ad to show up. If someone is typing in group classes near me, you want a group classes related ad to show up. And I'll share with you some examples of that right now. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. I know a lot of you guys already know what a Google search listing looks like, but for those who don't, this is what it looks like. It basically just consists of a headline, a description, and then there's a few other site links and things that you can put down here. But for the most part, it's a headline and a description, okay? Now here's a few examples of what you don't want and what you do want. So there's actually supposed to be a red X right here and a green check mark here. For some reason, when I downloaded this, it didn't transfer to the PDF. But this top version is what we don't want, and this bottom version is what we do want. So let's go ahead and start off with what we don't want first. So if someone is typing in board and train near me, you don't want the headline to say something like dog training services you can trust, dog training classes. And you don't want a description that says, we help dogs of all breeds and ages with obedience training, behavior modification, and more. Contact us today to learn more about our programs and schedule a consultation. While this may be true to your business, if someone is typing in board and train near me, we want headlines and descriptions that resonate with that particular search term. This is too general and it's less likely to get clicked compared to something like this, where the headline says 2 to 3 week board and train programs near you, XYZ city, with the description, get real behavior change with our immersive board and train program. Perfect for busy owners needing fast, structured results. Limited spots available. Schedule your consultation now. Now, this is just something I whipped together really quick, but you get the point, right? Like if someone is typing in board and train near me, we want our headlines and descriptions to align with that search term. So you really don't want general headlines and descriptions to show up. But if you don't separate your ads by theme, then this is the kind of problem you'll run into. So it's very important that when you create your Google ad, you should have multiple ad groups. And within each ad group should have its own theme, a board and train, a group class, a private lessons theme, with their own ad, their own keywords, their own descriptions and headlines that are related to that particular theme. The next one we have is using a generic website that doesn't convert. So most dog trainers send traffic to a generic website instead of a dedicated landing page that's built to convert leads. The internet is a fast-paced environment and people expect to get the information they need quickly and easily. So if you can't take someone to a page that resonates with what their search term was and quickly deliver the information they need and make it easy for them to fill out a form or give you a phone call, then you are going to convert way less leads. And a lot of websites are not built for conversions. So most websites have too many distractions. Things like blogs and social media links and newsletter opt-ins. Most websites have too many choices. An opt-in form, a client portal, a self-schedule calendar, a survey. Most websites have too much information. Large bodies of text, irrelevant details. A landing page only includes relevant info and makes it easy for users to take the next step. So I have a simple diagram here that kind of illustrates what's going on in a user's mind. So most websites cause this in a user's mind. They get to your website and they're like, okay, I need to find what I'm looking for. There's all these irrelevant details that I don't care about right now. Let me go ahead and just search to see if I can find the program that I need and find the information I need. A great landing page is simple. As soon as they land on it, they know they're in the right place. You got just enough information for them to become curious enough to give you their contact details. And it's a seamless process from click to opt-in. Now, what makes a good landing page? A good landing page is simple. So when you create a landing page, it's very easy to fall into the trap of adding more information. Oh, they need to know this, they need to know that. When in doubt, less is more. Keep it simple. Scannability. People do not read, they scan. So if you have some big wall of text on your landing page, people aren't going to read it. They're going to maybe scan through it a little bit and that's it. So instead, use small chunks of text. Use bullet points. Use vector images and real images. Use things that make it easy for someone to just scan through your website. Remove all the fluff. The next one we have here is relevance. So where they are and where they want to be. So this is a bit ambiguous, but is very important to understand. You have to remember that when someone is going to Google and is typing in dog trainer near me or board and train near me, that person has been dealing with problems with their dog for probably months, if not years, and they're finally going on their computer to find a solution. You really want to make sure that your landing page acknowledges where they are now and also their desired outcome where they want to be. Okay, so if someone is typing in board and train near me and they go to your landing page, you definitely want a headline that says something board and train related so they know they're in the right place. But also throughout your landing page, you should be acknowledging the issues that they have, things like leash pulling, reactivity. Acknowledge the common problems that dog owners face with their dogs, and then also plug in your solution and the desired outcome that you can help them achieve through your services. Credibility, trust building elements. So throughout your landing page, you need to litter credibility. Things like Google review stars, things like certifications or awards, things like Google reviews, like the actual reviews that you get on Google, make sure you put them on your landing page. Any client testimonial videos, any videos of you demonstrating your competence as a dog trainer, put that kind of stuff on your landing page. It does a lot of work in getting a prospect to feel confident that you can help them and confident enough to actually give you their contact details. So this is super, super important. And then we have call to action. So this one is simple, but often overlooked. And that is that you need to, so sorry, this should not say trust building elements. Call to action, so it's basically just the button that is on your landing page. When someone goes to your landing page, there should be a call to action button like get started or train my dog or book a free phone consultation. You should have that button prominent at the top of your landing page. So as soon as someone lands on your page, they can see a headline and a subhead, but they can also see a CTA button to get started. And make sure you have throughout your landing page, make sure you have like at least 5 to 8 call to action buttons littered throughout your whole landing page. Don't hide your call to action buttons. This is a common mistake. And if you make it hard for someone to get started, they're gonna leave your landing page. So make sure that you have call to actions littered throughout your landing page, at least 5 to 8 of them. And then lastly, we have mobile responsive. So 80% of your visitors will be on a mobile device. So when you are creating your landing page, it's easy to get caught up in the desktop design and how it looks on desktop because that's where you're creating it at. But remember that vast majority of the people who click on your ad and see your landing page will be on a phone. So make sure that your landing page is mobile responsive and that it looks good on a mobile device and that it works on a mobile device. And then lastly, we have making emotional changes. This is a big one and perhaps the most common. Google Ads runs on data and it needs a consistent flow of conversion data to understand what's working and what's not. Every major change you make resets that process. It can take days or even weeks for the campaign to stabilize again. You cannot approach changes emotionally. So it's very easy to get emotionally attached to your ad or your campaign's performance. So you might have 1 week where your ads are crushing it and you're happy about it. And then the next week performance drops and you're freaking out going, what do I need to change? Maybe let me add this or let me remove that. Don't fall into that trap. Do not get emotional about your campaign's performance. We need to make decisions based on data, not emotion. You have to give your campaign time to collect data, then make decisions based on that data. The more high quality conversion data you feed the system, the more consistent your results will be. So when you just start out, you have a brand new ad account and you just published your first campaign, the first couple months, the first few months are gonna be volatile because you have very little data in your account. But as you get high quality data into your Google ad account, Google is going to become more and more aware of what works for you and what doesn't. And your results will become more and more consistent. So what should you do? If you're spending anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a month, you gotta have at least a 3-month outlook on this stuff, okay? If you're gonna run ads, you have to give it at least 3 months. If you're not gonna give it 3 months, then don't bother. Make changes based on monthly performance timelines, not daily or weekly. If your ads are doing great for 3 months, but then maybe for a 2-week period, performance starts to drop, don't freak out and start making changes. Look at the last 3 months, you've been crushing it. Make changes based on monthly timelines, not daily or weekly timelines. Take at least 30 calls before determining lead quality. You might have 10 leads that come in, and let's say 7 out of those 10 were low quality leads that sucked. You might freak out and go, oh my God, we're getting low quality leads. What do we gotta do? What do we gotta change? But for the next 20 calls, you might have only 2 leads that are low quality, while 18 of them were great quality leads. And ultimately, you just have to, don't just take a few calls and determine your leads to be low quality and your campaign to suck. Take at least 30 calls. At least talk to 30 of the leads that you get from Google Ads before you determine the quality of the leads that are coming in. You should have a clear reason / hypothesis for every change you make. So don't just make random changes for the sake of making a change. You should have a reason for every change you're making. You should have a reason. So, here's the problem we're having, here's the change I'm gonna make, and here's why I'm making this change. You need to have that kind of framework before you make any changes on your Google Ad account. Google Ads is one of those things where it's not about pressing buttons all the time and staring at the computer and changing things all the time. That's the worst way you can run a Google ad campaign. It's about knowing what buttons to press and when. Do not apply recommendations out of panic. Like, if your campaign's performance starts to fall off and you're freaking out about it, don't just start auto-applying Google's recommendations and hoping that things change. Because chances are you're just gonna make things worse by doing it that way, okay? So let's go ahead and summarize everything we've covered so far. First thing is letting Google take the wheel. Be very careful of the recommendations you choose to apply. 9 out of 10 will not help your ROI. Creating ads that don't resonate. Structure your ad groups around themes and align your keywords, headlines, and descriptions around a user's search intent. Using a generic website that doesn't convert. Instead of taking users to your busy website, take them to a simple landing page that only contains relevant information with clear next steps. And lastly, making emotional changes. Be patient and make decisions based on data, not emotional guesswork. So that's it. That's how we help dog trainers get anywhere from 1 to 3 high quality leads per day from Google Ads. It's not about us having some perfect formula that works for every dog trainer. Every dog training business is a little different. What's more important is for us and you to understand what not to do. And just by understanding what not to do, you will be much more likely to succeed with a Google Ads campaign. And so that's kind of what this video was about. If you don't want to try to figure this stuff out yourself and you'd rather have a professional team like us come in and do this for you, feel free to click the link in the bottom of this video. Just fair warning, it will take you to our website, and it will have a video of me trying to pitch you our services. So if you don't want to be pitched, then don't click the link. Otherwise, if you have any suggestions or if you liked the video, make sure you liked it. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment below. And if you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the channel. We create the best content online for dog trainers and we release videos weekly. So with that said, I will see you guys in the next one.